Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Submachine. We're finally on the last game in the series, Submachine 10, The Exit. We're going to figure out what the heck is really going on here, and maybe, as the name implies, get ourselves out of the submachine. Let's just get started, and I don't want to go nearly as slow as I've been going in every other game, because this one is quite long. So let's just get started. We see the portal that we started up in the end of the previous game, so we're just going to rehash doing that. And you might recognize every single one of those things we saw. Each one is a reference to one of the previous games, so this game will definitely tie the whole thing together. So now we're on some floating platforms here, and if we put our mouse up here, we can actually see a little glowing dot. But if it was a portal, it's no longer active now. And in fact, it's reasonable to assume that's where we came from, but we will see what this is much later in the game. So now let's just take a look around. This place looks somewhat familiar. It looks a little bit like, even though it's in a more disarray, it looks a little bit like the core that we were in the 7th game. A little bit of the same architecture going on. In fact, if we read this, "We the king welcome you in the northern garden docks. Anyone who seeks peace and calmness will find it under the leaves of our blessed flora." Yes, we are indeed somewhere in the core, or in the south garden, well, north garden, sorry, which is close by to where we were in the 7th game. So we have some kind of things here. This must be the docks, but doesn't look like there's anything attached to them. If we hover over these, we can see numbers at the bottom of the screen. This one is 1, this one is 2, and then over here we have 3 and 4. And at number 3, we have some kind of anchor here that's hooked to this ring. We can't climb up it by itself, and this just repeats what we saw before. But there might be something connected to this third dock here. Let's see what's going on. Power source, watch your step. Let's start by going this way. We have another one of these little blue dots surrounded by debris. So it could be another place where there used to be a portal, because portals do destroy the fabric of this reality. And this is a dead end. Some building here we can't get in. There's a crack in the wall right here, just at the same level as whatever this thing is. But we'll come back to that once we figure out what it's for. Down here, this must be some kind of power supply, but it doesn't have anything going for it, so we can't turn anything on yet. And up this ladder, the game slows down, for this light sphere. So we're going to have to do a bit of trial and error using, this light sphere on things to find out what it's for. I happen to know that you can actually put it right here, but there's not a lot of stuff you can try out. You'll eventually figure out you can put this light sphere in this object, and now this is lit up with this thing. And when we use it, we are teleported through the wall, which is pretty neat. So now we're inside whatever this building is. Over here we have some kind of device. You can pull levers, and you can only pull one lever at a time. And if we look below, we see numbers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this probably corresponds to the docks outside. If we pull lever number 3, maybe something will happen at dock number 3 where we see that anchor. Also here we get a backpack. This is not required to play this game at all. However, it's very useful because what you can do is put items in the backpack because the inventory out here has a very limited size. So what we'll be doing is putting items in this backpack when we don't need them, so they're not taking up extra space that will be used by the things we do need. Once again, you can play the game without the backpack, but if you run into a space and you're out of inventory, then you have to remember it and come back to it once you have inventory. Please enter ship ID number. Well, we don't have one of those. We haven't even seen a ship yet. So let's come back here once we figure that out. So the ladder is no longer here, it's over here. And by dock number 3. So that's what that lever did, was it put a ladder out by the third dock. And it's connecting now to this other ladder that's here. And up here is some kind of thing? Kind of bulb we can go inside. And it's too dark to really do anything, but we can take this right here, and that is a ship ID number. Would you look at that? We found one right away. So we're going to go back in here, all the way to this place, put the number in, and we get a bottle fuse. Can't take the ID number back, so who knows. Seems like it would be useful. So with that fuse, we can definitely turn on the power. And this power heads right up to this thing here. It must be this ship, I guess, because we had a ship ID number on it. So we got some pipes we can crawl through, because who doesn't love crawling through pipes here? This ship does not look like it's been used for a long time. We have some old style telephones that we can't really use. Have some kind of... Is this like a captain's chair of some kind of navigation thing? If we pull these levers, we get these sort of axes that appear on the screen. And as fun as it is to mess with this device, it actually has no use in the game. It's just here to show what the ship would do. You might remember these axes as coming from the 5th game, because in that game, we powered up that little ship that would travel through the submachine, and you could see these axes once you gave it 3 wisdom gems. So this must have a similar purpose, although we do not ever use it in the game. And up here looks like some other device. We don't need to push any of these buttons, so we can't. There actually is an item in this room we can pick up, and I missed this for the longest time. I actually got myself stuck in the first 5 minutes of the game, because you can pick this up. It's not super obvious, but this is the door valve you can pick up. And we'll use it very shortly. Going this way now, we can head up here, and this says signal the docking ladder. So what this actually does, like, it took me a while to figure this out until I read about it afterward. What this does is it takes the docking ladder from below and it sets it to dock 3. So it signals that, and it was added to the game in this new release because it is possible late in the game to move the ladder away from dock 3, then teleport a one-way teleport up to here, and you can never get back down. And if you haven't finished all your business down there, you soft lock the game. So the developer added this signal in so you could just move the ladder back in case you made that mistake. And it's not obvious teleporting yourself that one-way teleport. Like you have to do it on purpose. So over here we have another one of these. Insert captain's ID card. We definitely do not have that, so we're going to have to look around for one of those and then remember about this. And finally, we have some sort of panel here that says S3C, and it looks like it takes some form of ID here, not sure what. So let's remember S3C and the captain's ID card, because we will need to come back to the ship to do those. Some suit that the captain might wear. Over here we have another item we can pick up. This is a ladder piston. We put the door valve right there, which lets us leave the ship. And over here we have some destruction and another portal. So we're taken to a completely new area, and this game has a lot of different areas in it. Oop, that was my phone buzzing. Let's put that phone away. I don't want to talk to people right now. Let's take a look around this area, see what we can find. It's a dead end. But we can just take that cap right off. We can't go down. Apparently it's a long drop, but we can then take the ladder and stick it down there. And here we are. There's a hole in the ground we can look into, and there's a secret right down there. So this game has secrets again that are collectibles. There are 10 of them. Most of them are actually pretty easy to find compared to some of the other games. It's just finding all of them are tricky. This one's actually one of the trickiest ones to get. We can't reach it, because I imagine our arm isn't this long. So we actually have to get some device which will reach this object, and that device is actually pretty difficult to acquire. So this is probably the last secret we'll collect. Alright, we're in some other building. We got a statue of St. Christopher, whoever he is. Over here we have some kind of device with a closed cap and 4 lights on it that are all red. So maybe if we figure out what this device is for and turn the lights on, we'll get whatever's in there. And we can't go through this door because it is blocked off. We have some kind of ring here, ring of bricks, and a bunch of buttons. And if we hit this button here, it looks an awful lot like it's trying to start a teleporter, like the kind we saw in Submachine 4 and 5. So maybe we have ourselves another warp portal that we can use in this game. And we will explore that next time, because I'm going to stop the video here. So I'll see you then. Bye.